Hello, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm doing a voiceover for this little section here. When I did this live, the audio wasn't working right whenever the camera was on me. I'm not sure what was going on, so I thought I'd fix this before I show you here on my blog and my other social media. I'm going to be showing you some projects that we made at my uplines house. One of my sidelines, Heather, got to go to the North Carolina on stage, so she was able to pre-order some things early from the new annual catalog, and she was good enough to have it all shipped over to our upline Sherry's and came to Indianapolis, and we got to make a bunch of really neat cards with the new products she got to get. So I wanted to share those with you, and then at the end of the video I'll also demonstrate a card that was made with the Falling Flowers stamp set, and it's retiring. So enjoy the video. And I'll remind you real quick about the Everything is Rosy product medley. I can't wait to get my hands on this. We don't get to order it until you guys do also. So May 1st is when we'll order that. And I'll get that as soon as I can. And there is a link to the video that shows everything that you get in this medley. It's a really good deal. Here's a quick picture, just got little bits and pieces of it, but you'll be able to see the whole thing in the video. But you'll get the designer paper that's pictured below at the bottom. There's also some rose gold foil, which is the last piece underneath the designer paper on the right. There are some mirror embellishments, a die set, a stamp set. Those two ribbons they're showing, you get 10 yards each of those. That bottle is rose gold shimmer paint, and there's stickers. There's just so many things you can get. It's a really, really good deal. I can't wait to get it. And if you order from me, I'm going to start a Facebook group. And anybody that orders from me will be put in that group, and I will have videos to some exclusive projects. I won't share them on my blog or here on my Facebook page. So if you want to get on that, if you order from me, that'll be the perk that you get. It'll be my thank you. But I'm going to show some cards that we made last week. I really liked everything that we made. This one features the It Starts With Art stamp set. And I really think the ribbon on this is cute. And we stamped little buttons on it. And I don't know if you can tell in the light, but that, oh, there we go. In that embossing folder is called Button Button. Isn't that cute? I can't wait to get that embossing folder. But this is a new color, Seaside Spray. This is one of the new in colors. And then the next card is the Verdant Garden set. I don't know why I have trouble saying that. And the Designer Series papers from the Garden Lane Designer Series paper. And this cork that you see, it just comes with the black on there. The love was stamped, and we colored in the flower and these were just colored with regular Stampin' Right markers. So you don't have to have the blends or anything. It does a really good job with just the markers. And those are called Magnolia Lane cork. Then the ribbon, there's a pack of ribbon. It's called Magnolia Lane Ribbon Pack, and this is the linen ribbon that's in that pack, and I'll show you the other here on another card. And if you look real close at this is a new in color, and this is the Terracotta Tile. Next card, having to get my little cheat sheets out here because I don't remember all the names yet. I'll learn them. We use mainly designer paper. We did use a stamp set called Daisy Lane. So we do have a daisy set, but this is a brand new one. And this coordinates with the daisy punch, and there is also a smaller daisy punch. I don't have that, of course, so that's something that'll be in the new catalog we can look forward to. See this center right here? This is a really fuzzy. I love that. It makes it feel so real. And these are the Perennial Essence floral centers. And then this paper, I love the paper. It's the Mosaic Mood Specialty Designer paper. And if I get it just right, you might be able to see how it shimmers in the light. It's got there we go. That's showing it better. So you can see how yeah, there we go. That's better. So we fussy cutted the hummingbird out from the designer paper. And this is just the designer paper, so I just think it's so pretty. And this right here is Terracotta Tile again. I'll kind of turn it over, and that's the terracotta color. And the video won't do it justice. Usually videos end up changing the color just a little bit. You'll really like it in person. Then we made two cards with a Good Man stamp set. I love the look of these, and the watercoloring, it's perfect for watercoloring. And you can also do these without coloring them in too. They look good that way. We did use a little bit of designer paper on this one. This is from the Come Sail Away. And we used, I don't know if you can tell, this is actually vellum right here, and we embossed it with the Subtle folder. And it's from the Perennial Essence vellum. It's a 12 they're all in 12 by 12, and they're different colors. And then the in color, this one is the Pretty Peacock. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that color. It reminds me of our not quite navy, but it's not the same, but it is close to that. So those of you that love that color will really love this one. Okay, the next card, which you saw just for a split second, is from the Sailing Home Bundle. I'm loving that we're getting some new masculine stamp sets. They're always so hard to come by. This one, the bundle includes the Sailing Home stamp set and the smooth sailing dies. So the dies had this label, and we die cut the lighthouse. And I don't know if you can see this little rope thing here. It's a little hard to tell in the video, but that's a die also. And I love this new baker's twine. This is Night of Navy and Sahara Sand. So I love that it's not, the white looks good with Night of Navy, but I like this better. It's a muted look. And then you see this little, I guess it'd be the steering wheel of the boat. This is from the Sail Away Trinkets, and I can't remember the other trinkets in it, but there's some other ones, probably an anchor. And this beautiful designer paper is from the Sail Away designer series paper. Now the next card is going to features the Bloom and Grow bundle. And I love this designer paper. All the designer paper I saw is just gorgeous. I'm really excited to get my hands on it. This is called the Magnolia Lane designer series paper. The stamp set is the Bloom Grow bundle, and the dies that go along with it are the Budding Blooms. And whenever I say bundle, it's, if you order them as a bundle, you'll save 10%. That's pretty cool. So we've got this ribbon here. I love this ribbon. Isn't that, I don't know if it's doing it justice in the video either, but it is so pretty. It's the pretty petal pink organdy striped ribbon. And I'll definitely be getting some of that. And this right here is also using that Perennial Essence vellum. And what we did, this is kind of cool, we heat embossed the Forever Starts for Today with copper, and then we dry embossed it with the Subtles folder. So I don't know if you can tell that, but I had never embossed, heat embossing before. So it's actually like a double embossed thing. So that's pretty neat. I'll have to remember that on some future cards I make. And that one did not use an in color. And this one doesn't use a new in color either, but it uses the Above the Clouds bundle, and that comes with the Above the Clouds stamp set and air balloon punch. This one has a punch instead of a die. And yes, I said air balloon. This is actually supposed to be used as an air balloon instead. Whoever, I'm not sure who made this card, but they decided to make it into a flower pot, and I thought that was really neat. And this designer paper that we used is the Bird Ballad designer series paper. And the punch also punched out this little flower pot right here, which is actually the basket of the balloon. So we fussy cut these out of the paper. And this is the polka dot tulle ribbon that is coming back. I'm so happy. The Whisper White one is. So that's what we made with that one. Now this one, I can't wait to get this stamp set. Aren't these birds cute? I love these birds. This is a Free as a Bird bundle. It comes with a Free as a Bird stamp set and the stitched nested labels. And I love this ribbon. This is my look. I love this look. This is called Very Vanilla Scalloped Lace Trim. And this beautiful flower right here is from the Bird Ballad Trinkets. And the Pretty Designer Series paper is the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. And this card base is Pool Party, so that's not one of the new colors either. But we use color Stampin' Blends, to color those in. Okay, the next one is the Floral Essence bundle, and it's a Floral Essence stamp set and the Perennial Flower Punch. So this punch is what punched these out. I've seen a lot of neat flowers made with this punch, so I'm excited about getting that. And this color is the Rococo Rose, which is a new in color. So I think that's a really pretty rose, and you'll see that a little better here in a little bit. Oh, and this is the other ribbon that's in the Magnolia Lane ribbon pack. This is the Mossy Meadow linen thread. Okay, then the next one is from the To a Wild Rose bundle. It comes with a To a Wild Rose, hard to say that, stamp set and the Wild Rose dies. And so the die cut this, the leaves, and this pretty border up here. And it's a little hard to tell. The next card will show some paper in the same designer series paper. This is called Perennial Essence designer series paper. I can't really can't wait to get this. You can kind of see a little flower there. It's like impressionist art is what it is. And there's so many pretty sheets in this one. Like I said, I am in love with the new designer paper. And this is also an in color. I'll show you that real quick. That's the Purple Posy. Really pretty light purple. Then I've got two more cards. This one is from, got my cards mixed up here. Yeah, this one is To a Wild Rose bundle again. This one features, I must not have taken my little, oh I did, okay. This is also the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. And this one, the bundle was actually designed from the $1 Million Achiever Mary Ellen Byler. So so it has the rose that's in this. It's got a lot of pretty images in it. And then this one's got the Blessed that's also in it with these little splotches. I thought that was a really neat effect. And this, isn't that pretty? This is another sheet of that paper. It's gorgeous. And this again is that purple posy. Now we're to the last card. This one, oh, I forgot to show you the inside of this one. We decorated this one. So that is also in the stamp set. I love that we have greetings, a lot of greetings in the stamp sets now. This one is the Good Morning Magnolia bundle. And yes, we did not have to die cut this. There's a die in the bundle. It's from the Magnolia Memory dies. And isn't that magnolia gorgeous? We stamped it on vellum, embossed it with white embossing powder, and then colored on the back to get that stained glass look. And if you're wondering about this card base, yes, this is something that you'll be able to purchase too when the new catalog comes out. There's Magnolia Lane, large specialty memories and more cards and envelopes. So you get matching envelopes too. And they also come with a liner on the inside. So doesn't that make a really pretty card? And this is that Magnolia Lane ribbon also, that Mossy Meadow again. And this die here, it was also used with this die here. This is the stitched nested labels. I really can't wait to get those. There's so many different sizes of that, and I love, again, the stitching. I'm always a sucker for that. Okay, that is all the new, those are all the new cards, and I was just going to show you quick the colors close up here, all 5 of them. So that's the Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, had to think for a minute, I can't remember all these names, Pretty Peacock, Purple Posy, and Terracotta Tile. That's pretty good because I had to look at my cheat sheet when I was practicing earlier today. So these are all the pretty colors that we're going to be able to play with starting in June. And I'll be able to get these, since I'm a demonstrator, I'll be able to get these at the end of, next week on Thursday. So I wanted to show you some colors that kind of go along with it. Just different. This is again, the Terracotta Tile. This is the Grapefruit Grove, so that's what it is next to that. This is the Calypso Coral next to that. And then that's the Cajun Craze. So that kind of gives you an idea. And like I said, these look a lot better in person. In my video, I can tell they don't quite look right, but it's close. They're really pretty. Then I'll bring the Purple Posy back out, and then the purples to compare with it. This one is the Highland Heather that we have. And it does not make the Highland Heather look a lot darker. I've always thought of this as it's still a light purple, but it looks a lot darker than I normally think of it as next to that. Then this is the Gorgeous Grape. And this is a Rich Razzleberry. So those are some colors to compare with it. And then I'll bring in the Pretty Peacock and get those colors together. This one is the Bermuda Bay next to it. Oh, it looks like my video's messing up. There we go. Then the Coastal Cabana. And this one is Night of Navy. So those are some colors with it. Then I'm going to bring in the Seaside Spray and bring in some light blues here. Making a little mess over here. That's the Balmy Blue next to the Seaside Spray. Then the Coastal Cabana. I'm sorry, that's Pool Party. This is Coastal Cabana. So those are compared with the Seaside Spray. Here's the Rococo Rose. I really like this rose. We haven't had a good rose color for a long time, so I really like this. Oh, David, glad you like those cards. I had so much fun making those. We have the, next to Flirty Flamingo. And then, if I can get these apart, Blushing Bride. And then the Petal Pink. So those are all the new, so that's the new in color with our existing colors. Okay, now I think I'm done showing all the new stuff. Now we're going to get on to demonstrating a card. I'm going to be using the Falling Flowers stamp set. This is going to be retiring here the end of May. All stamp sets are available till May 24th, and then after that, they're while supplies last. Now the dies that coordinate with it, these are called Mayflower dies. These are only available while supplies last now. The reason the stamp sets are guaranteed till May 24th is because Stampin' Up! Makes their own stamp sets. So I'll be using this die here, this one, and this one. That way I'm not digging for them. And then I'm going to use the rectangle dies. These are in the Occasions catalog. I'm going to use the number 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 7th one. See if I can get a hold of it. And the 7th one is the second to largest one. Okay, now let's get to stamping. Now I went ahead, because when I practiced this, the video was going kind of long and getting kind of boring for you if you had to sit here and watch me color. So I went ahead and stamped. I want to show what I did though. These stamps come with a little arrow on the top. That helps you with lining up the die. So if you look at the die, there's also a little arrow here. So make sure when you stamp that the arrow is pointing up, and then when you line it up, have the arrow pointing up, and it'll line up just perfectly. So I stamped this with the Tuxedo Black Memento. This one also has an arrow, and stamped it with the same color, and this is the same Memento pad too, and just stamped it twice with the leaves. Okay, now what I'll do, I was coloring, and that does take a little while, so I went ahead and did some of the coloring already, but I'm going to give you the gist here. This is the Calypso Coral Stampin' Blends, the Night and Navy Stamping Blends, and the Shaded Spruce, and I'm also going to use the dark Mango Melody. So I'll go ahead, and while I've got this one in my hand, I'm going to hurry up and color in the edge, the centers of these two flowers. And I picked these colors because of the designer paper I'm using, and I'm using the Garden Impressions designer paper, and that's going to be retiring here too, so that's while supplies last. So that's done. And you can see how I've got the different shading here. I'm going to take the dark Calypso Coral, and I'm going to do it just on these narrow ones here. Get those. The thing I love about these, not just because they blend so well, but because when you're coloring with them, you don't get the lines. Now this is the light Calypso Coral, and I'm even going to go over the dark just to blend it and to make it so it's not such a stark difference. But I was saying, you don't get the lines that you do with regular markers. You know, when you do markers, you can see the line, your brush strokes. With this, you don't see your brush strokes. That's another reason I love these so much. Okay, so that flower is all done. Now this one didn't have, since it's only got the 2 halves, I just wanted to have the center of it dark. I don't know if you can tell with these, the center line here is a little darker than the actual petal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the dark Night of Navy and do a little scribble line right there. And I'm going to use the light Night of Navy. And thanks everybody for joining. I can see some people popping up. So glad you're here. And now I'm going to take the light Night of Navy and go over it, and I'm making sure that I color over the dark, and that helps it blend. The more you color over the dark, the more it blends. So that gives me that neat look. And now I'm going to use the Shaded Spruce. And what I did with this is kind of a combination of the two. This has 3 sections, so I'm going to use the dark Shaded Spruce here and color this in. And then I'm going, on this one, since it's just 2 sections, I'm going to do the little scribble line on the line. The reason I do the scribble is because I don't want a straight line that looks a little strange. And you want to get it to look as authentic as possible. Now I'm using a light Shaded Spruce and get that all colored in. And going over again like I did before, the dark to blend it in. And since this didn't have any lines, I'm just using the light on that one. So there, believe me, you would not have wanted to see me color all that in. Okay, now I'm going to bring my Big Shot in. Here's my die cutting machine, and I'm going to grab a magnetic platform, my standard cutting pad. I'm going to grab this, and now I'm going to get the dies. I'm going to go ahead and die cut this one and one set of the leaves at the same time. Get that all centered. Hopefully I'm getting it centered pretty good. I'm at an angle here. I'm going to stand up. I don't think I'll get in the way of the video standing up. There we go. I can see a little better doing it that way. Get those through. Get that out of the way. And then I'll line this one back up. And like you saw when I saw how easy that was to line up, I'll show you here with this little one. I'm just making sure that point is straight up and it just lines up perfectly. Because if you start to do it this way, it's not going to line up at all. So that just makes it so much easier using that guide. Get that centered. Oops. And I just realized, I don't know if I I forgot to do the shared. I'm seeing some people saying shared. You're going to be in my drawing for my prize. Last week was the Grapefruit Grove ink pad. I don't think I showed that, and I forgot to do the drawing. If I did show it, I forgot to do the drawing. So I will do that here when I'm done with the card. But if you share this video, I really appreciate it. And comment shared, that way I know it was shared, and I'll put you in a drawing to get a prize, and I'll show you that, like I said, as soon as the card's over. Some things are hard to remember. Okay, I'm going to use the same platform. Now I'm going to use a piece of Garden Impressions Designer Series paper. This is 5" by 3 3/4. I'm going to take these rectangle dies. Like I said, this is that number 7 one, second largest in that set. And then the number 4 one. And this one I'm just going to make sure I center it. And this is going to give me a beautiful frame. Okay. The thing I love about these rectangle dies is how it's got stitching on the outside and the inside of the cut image. And when you do a frame, that's when you see it the best. So get my die catching out of the way. And this one I won't be using, but I'll save it, and it's got the stitching along there, so I'll use that on another card. Get these out of the way. Now I've got a perfect frame. And I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's stitching here on the inside and the outside. So now I'll grab a piece of Whisper White. Get back in my chair here. This is a 5" by 5 1/4 by 4" piece of Whisper White. And right now I'm just going to lay this frame down. I'm not going to attach it. Oh, I'm seeing some more people pop up. Welcome to the video. And if you are getting in late, you can a recording of this will show up as soon as the video's over, so you can watch the whole thing. Okay, because you missed some of the new things I showed. I showed the new in colors and some new cards, so you don't want to miss that. Okay, now I'm going to use my Night of Navy, and this is a stamp set I was really hoping was going to make it in the new catalog. This is a Life is Grand stamp set, and I love, it's one of those distinctive ones, and you'll see what I mean here in a minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp it here in the bottom right corner of this opening of the frame. But that's why I'm laid the frame down, that way I know where to stamp it. But see this two-tone effect? I just love this. It looks like some of it's starting to shine, and it's like it makes it 3D. I really like that. Okay, so that's all the stamping we're going to do. And now I'm going to grab my dimensionals, and I'm going to put one and get back up in the screen in each corner. And I'm also, because I wanted it to be popped up, it just looks neat that way. I'm a sucker for dimensionals. How many of you love dimensionals? I use them all the time. They're my favorites. Okay. Now take the paper backing off. While I'm doing that, I hope you're all enjoying your spring. I'm so glad it finally feels like spring here in Indiana. We've had a little bit of a gloomy day today, but when I was upstairs a few minutes ago, that looked like the sun was starting to peek out. We've been getting some rain. Okay, now this is ready. I'm going to center this back on and make sure I'm still seeing my words. And it should, see, it lines up pretty easy doing it the way we did it. So that's all ready to go. Now I'm going to bring my leaves and my flowers in. I'm going to take my snail. Oops, I always forget to open that up. I'm just going to put on a few of the leaves here. I'm going to have this one up here like this. So the trick is to have the stem be near the bottom of this bottom left corner. And then my other set of leaves, I'm going to put right here, and it's going to intersect right there. And then I'll put some snail here. And a lot of times I'll pop up my flowers, but since the frame's already popped up, I don't want the card to get too thick. So I'll just put that right there. And then my little blue flower is going to go right here. And now, can anybody guess what my color base is going to be? I'm actually using one of the colors that I colored with. It's going to be the Mango Melody. I love this color. It's one of the new ones from last year that came out last year. It's in the Brights collection. I just think it's such a cheery color. So now that that's folded in half, then I'll just put some snail here. It's all set. Always make sure I put snail in the corners for sure, and then along some of the long ends. You don't have to cover it completely. It sticks on really well with what I just used. And there's the card. I think that's so pretty. I've been doing flowers a lot lately just because I'm so glad it's finally spring. Had a hard winter. I know some people had even harder winters. Got some friends that our winter was nothing compared to theirs. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed today's card. I'm not going to go back on me since it was messing up so bad. I do want to share, though, I'll do it here, down here this time instead of me holding it up. This was the prize for last week, the Grapefruit Grove ink pad. I love this color. And I'm going to hurry up and draw the name. Get them all mixed up. Let's see who it is. Oh, Karen Flannery. Congratulations, Karen. I think you might be watching. I know I saw that you were watching a little bit ago. So you're going to get this ink pad, and I'll give it to you next time I see you. She's one of my local gals. Now, for next week, if you get your, if you share my video and comment shared below, I've got a woodland textured embossing folder. I love this folder. I've used it so many times. I actually used it on a card last week, and I thought I'd show you real quick. And you can see let me see if I can angle it better for you, looking in my monitor. That's the one thing about lives, it's hard to get a real good, but you can kind of see the trees down here and up here. I use this one a lot. So this will be the prize for next week. Well, again, thanks for coming, and I'll be back next week. To share, you do need to share the video by next Tuesday, May 30th, and I'll put you in the drawing, and I'll tell you who wins in my live next week, and it'll be at 2 o'clock, May 1st next week, after I get to place my, my order for my ensemble. Getting excited about that one. And don't forget, if you do order that from me, I'll hurry up and go to that picture real quick. If you do order that from me, I will start a Facebook group and have some exclusive projects on there with video tutorials for you to do. Okay, well, thanks for coming. See you next week.